Hello, my people. I hope you're all doing well, very well. Today we are going to see what psychology says if we bring up these 9 topics within conversation to mean that you have below average social skills. But if it's the first time you're with us, don't forget to subscribe so that to get in touch with our daily content. Ever notice how some conversations just click while others feel like walking through a mud? After decades of attending office parties, family gatherings, and community events, I've learned that certain topics kill conversation faster than you can say awkward silence. And here, what psychology tells us, the topics people bring up reveal a lot of about their social awareness. Those who consistently wander into uncomfortable territory often don't realize they are doing it. If you find yourself clearing rooms when you talk, or if people suddenly remember they need to check on something whenever you join a conversation, it might be a time to take a closer look at what you are discussing. The point number 1 says that graphic health details. We all deal with health stuffs. I've had my share of doctor visits, and I'm at an age where my friends compare medication like they used to compare vacation stories. But there is a word difference between mentioning you are recovering from surgery and launching into vivid description of what happened during procedure. I once stood in a line at a pharmacy where someone ahead of me described their digestive issues in extraordinary detail. The pharmacist kept nodding professionally, but I watched 3 people quietly switch to a different line. According to research on social awareness, people with stronger social skills understand health talk need context. Are you close friends? Is other person asking? Is anyone eating? When someone ignores these clues and overshares medical details in a casual setting, it shows they are not picking up on the discomfort they are creating. The second one, or number 2, money talk and the price tags. Nothing shrinks a room faster than someone casually dropping how much they're paid for their new car or what the salary bump was this year. My wife, I lived on that budget through most of our working years. We saved carefree, made sacrifices, and eventually built some financial security. But I would never dream of announcing those details to someone I just met at a community center. As psychologist Daniel Gorman notes in his work on social awareness, understanding how our words land on others is crucial, and money talk almost always creates comparison or discomfort. When people constantly reference price, salaries, or expensive purchases, it usually comes from insecurity rather than confidence. The socially skilled person knows that financial stuff is deeply personal and doesn't belong in casual conversation unless someone explicitly asks. Number 3, unsolicited parenting advice. I raised 3 kids and now have 5 grandchildren. That gives me parental opinions about child rearing, but I've learned that hard way that offering parenting advice without being asked is one of the fastest ways to damage relationships. Uh, People who launch into parenting advice or criticism without being asked are missing a fundamental social skill, understanding boundaries. I remember when my daughter Sarah was raising her first child, my mother-in-law would constantly tell her she was doing things wrong, from feeding schedules to sleep training. It created so much tension that Sarah started avoiding family gatherings. According to psychological research, this behavior signals an inability to read social cues and respect personal boundaries. Unless someone specifically asks for your wisdom, keep your parenting philosophies to yourself. Number 4 is like excessive personal oversharing. There is sharing and there is oversharing. I've sat through conversations where near strangers told me about their divorces, a childhood trauma, financial disasters within minutes of meeting. Studies published in Journal of Personalities and the Social Psychology found that People who share too much information about themselves are perceived as less likable, especially when those details come in appropriate context or too early in a relationship. I learned this lesson during my insurance career. Early on, I shared too much about my personal struggles within a client, thinking it would be great rapport. Instead, it made things uncomfortable and I lost the account. This thing is vulnerability is powerful when it's earned, but dumping your deepest problems on someone you barely know puts them in a position they didn't ask for and they may not be equipped to handle. That's not connection. That's emotional ambition. Number five is like workplace gossip about specific people. Over my 35 years in middle management, I watched gospel tear through offices like wildfire, and while some gospel serves as social functions, there is line between sharing information and spreading harmful rumors about specific colleagues. And I've covered this in a previous post, but it bears repeating. If you will talk about others to someone, you will talk about someone to others. Pick up on this pattern quickly. Based on research from organizational scholars, shows that while positive gossip can strengthen teams, negative gossip about specific individuals damages trust and marks you as someone who can't be relied upon with sensitive information. To mean that the social skilled person knows how to navigate this. They might discuss workplace challenges without naming names, or they redirect negative conversation towards solution rather than character assassination. Number six, or point number six, it says about that constant self promotion and bragging. Some people turn every topic into an opportunity to talk about their accomplishment, their travels, their success. Every story somehow loops back to them and how impressive they are. I know a colleague who did this constantly. Win Employee of the Month once in 30 years. I mentioned it maybe twice. This guy would find a way to bring up every minor achievement in every conversation. Here, researchers call this conversation narcissism, the habit of constantly steering conversation back to yourself without reciprocal interest in others. Uh, when someone can stop talking about their achievement, it doesn't come across as confident. It signals insecurity and displays need for validation. More importantly, it shows they are not interested in actually connecting. They just want an audience. The point number seven is about dominating every conversation. We all know someone who talks and talks and talks. While being talkative isn't inherently bad, it becomes problematic when person monopolize every discussion. A study from Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that people who talk excessively are often perceived as dominant and controlling, which makes others feel unheard or unimportant. During my weekly poker games within my friends, we had one guy who would dominate every conversation. Eventually, people stopped coming. He never understood why. The thing about conversation is that it's supposed to be two-way street. If one person is doing all the talking, it's not really conversation anymore, isn't it? Social skilled people understand the rhythm of give and take, when to speak and when to listen. At the point number 8, high divisive political or religious topics. Here, politics matter, religious matter, but dropping inflammatory opinion into casual social settings without reading the room is hallmark of weak social judgment. I learned this lesson at neighbor barbecue years ago. Someone started a hot political debate right as we were serving dinner. Evening never recovered and several friendships were damaged. Here, according to psychologist research, bluntly introducing divisive subject without considering the effect on conversation or feeling of those involved exhibit weak social skills. It's not about avoiding these topics entirely. It's about knowing when and how to broach them with respect and understanding to diverse perspectives. The socially aware person read the room first. Is this time? Is this place? Is there enough trust here for hard conversation? Yes. Uh, Point number 9 is constant negativity and complaining. Everyone needs to vent occasionally or need to start occasionally, but when someone turns every topic toward the negative, dwelling on problems rather than solution and failures rather than progress, it drains the energy from an interaction. Also, it's when I went through a period after my early retirement where I fell into this trap. Everything bothered me, the weather, the news, how things used to be better. My wife finally pulled me aside and aside. You're becoming a person people avoid at parties. She was right. Studies show that individuals who frequently use negative language are perceived as less likable and more socially isolated. The conversation within my wife was turning point. I started focusing on what I appreciated rather than what annoyed me. My relationship improved almost immediately. Here there is a final thought. Final thought is about that. If you recognize yourself in any of these partners, don't beat yourself up. Social skills aren't fixed. They are learned and refined over time. I spent decades making these mistakes myself. The difference now is that I pay attention to how people respond when I talk. Do they learn is in or learn back? Do they ask follow-up questions or change the subject? Those subtitle clues tell you everything you need to know about whether your conversation topics are landing well or faring flat. The question is, are you paying attention? So if you are paying attention, you know what to do. So don't forget to subscribe so that to get in touch with daily content. See you soon.